All I wanna do is see you turn into a giant woman, a giant woman. All I wanna be is someone who gets to see a giant woman. All I wanna do is help you turn into a giant woman, a giant woman. All I wanna be is someone who gets to see a giant woman. Oh, I know it'll be great, and I just can't wait to see the person you are together. If you give it a chance, you could do a huge dance because you are a
Tokusatsu is one of my favorite genres. Like majority of people, my first exposure was Power Rangers and Godzilla, but I didn't really get into it until I started watching Kamen Rider. Recently, I've been getting into the Ultraman series, mainly the new generation, but I've been told by my peers and my viewers to watch the original 1966 Ultraman so I can attain Ultra knowledge. That being said, here's my thoughts and opinion on the original 1966 Ultraman. The story for Ultraman is pretty easy to understand. It follows the misadventures of the Science Patrol team. They're a group that investigates the supernatural. One of their members is named Shin Hayata, and in one of his investigations, he tragically died. However, the alien who killed him felt bad about it, so he decided to merge his body with Hayata. And whenever the Science Patrol need help, which is 99% of the time, Shin Hayata is able to transform into the alien known as Ultraman. In this form, Ultraman can defeat any giant opponents with his wrestling moves. And if that doesn't work, he can use his projectiles like the Spacium Beam to defeat the opponent. But since this is a Showa series, he also has the ability of random BS. That being said, I really like the props and suit designs for the series. And you have to remember that this type of quality was only seen in movies like Godzilla. However, there is a downside to that, and that being the budget. For example, you have episode 2, which features the alien Bolton, and I really love the effects they use for these guys, and the design alone is really good. But sometimes you get episodes like episode 10, which features Juris, who is just a reused Godzilla suit. However, that's not the only time they reuse Godzilla assets, as throughout the show they use modified roars from the Godzilla franchise, and even just use King Ghidorah's roar as a ringtone. Don't get me wrong, I understand the Super Rare Productions didn't really have a lot of money to work with, but I'm a Godzilla fan, so it's hard for me not to ignore the Ghidorah phone. Something I will criticize is Ultraman himself, and most of you guys already know, I am not a big fan of this guy. For those who don't know, I am not a big fan of how Ultraman brutally kills his foes, especially if they're innocent kaiju like my good boy Gamora. His debut episode is literally him getting bullied by humanity and Ultraman. It was really hard to watch, especially since I love Ultraman X, and I love Daichi's relationship with his Gamora. And honestly, that was the only reason I have a Gamora in my collection, is because of Ultraman X. Don't get me wrong, there are foes in the series that are 100% evil, but I have a hard time calling Ultraman a hero, especially if you compare it to other Showa heroes like Kamen Rider. For example, Kamen Rider shows that Shocker is super duper evil, while in Ultraman, not all the kaiju are evil. Don't get me wrong, I really did enjoy the series. I was invested for majority of the part. I'm just saying that Seton did nothing wrong. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the original Ultraman, and I'll see you guys next time.